What's up, lovely humans, and welcome back to a new edition of Fuck It Friday. So for this week's edition, what we're gonna talk about? We're gonna be talking about, no, not voguing, but structure. Because yes, a gal needs a structure if she wants to succeed in her business, and I will tell you why. So let's get this started. First thing first, so what do I mean by structure? By structure, I mean just to put a set of boundaries around your life or your physical environment that will help you to get the job done. Because we know procrastination is a bitch, and we want to be able to go through it, and having a structure is something that's super helpful. And I would know about it because I'm certified like a special kind of brain person by doctors. Yes, I'm ADHD, so I need to have a structure, and I know how confusing it can get. The liberty of just doing your own thing is so great at first, but after a while, if you don't set up boundaries and you don't set up a structure, you'll find yourself watching Netflix for way too many hours per day. So a structure, it could be either in your physical world, so actually to set up a place where you should be working and not watching Netflix or YouTube or whatever other channel or entertainment. Or I also need a structure as of a schedule or something as of time and matter and ideas and stuff like that. So why is it so important to get a structure? Like I was saying a little bit earlier, if you don't have that structure, well, you have risks of just going rogue, and that means not getting the job done. Like, yes, of course, you'll be doing the dishes, you'll be doing laundry, and you'll be folding stuff, and you'll be putting away things that was left there for the past week, but you won't actually be productive with your work because procrastination is such a powerful tool to get other tasks done except what you actually need to be doing right now. So that's why you need a structure, because if you don't have it, well, it's going to be so much harder to actually get the job done. So do yourself a favor and just set up that structure in place. So let's split it in two. Like I was saying, you have your physical structures and you have your imaginary one. Is that something? Yeah, let's call it that. So we'll split that in two, and I'll tell you guys what are my tips and tricks to really set up a structure that helped me to get the job done. So let's start it with physical. So for the physical structure, what I've done, and I'll give you guys a little tour in a moment, I've created an area where I have all my things to work. And I know when I sit down here, the only thing I can do is work, and that's what I tell my brain. So once I sit down here, there's no Netflix and chill, there's no watching funny videos of cats, and there's no just chilling on Instagram for no reason and like not work purpose, because we all know I do Instagram for work. But there's none of that, and I'm training my brain to know that when I'm sitting here is for work, girl. Like, you can't just go around and do nothing and watch Instagram stories for the rest of the day. You actually have to work. So that's why I created an environment especially for that. So I've created this, and I've also, and I'll show you on this wall right here because my desk used to be there, but it's easier to film like this than you guys seeing like the mess that is my wardrobe. So here next to me now, I have my vision board and my mood board. And if you don't know what those are what are they useful for, I talked a bunch about it, but write them in the comments and I'll be more than happy to answer any of your questions about mood board and vision board. But basically, these are some there actually are pictures that help me to really visualize every single day what I want to be doing, where I want to take this business, and how I want people to perceive my business. So I put that there, and I have my goals that I fill in every month to just look at them every day and just really create this space that's literally for work, for my future, and for what I want to be aiming towards. So again, creating, kind of mixing the imaginary and the physical structure together. So I was editing the video and I was like, I forgot to do the little tour that we're talking about. So please don't judge my workspace because I know I'm messy, but that's just how all of this works. So that's how I have my setup. You see my little tripod filming me right there. And I have my chair, my cat's chair that has a lot of on it. Rest of coffee, yes, editing, my damn freaking microphone that wasn't working today. And here you have the little wall that I was talking to you guys about of all the little pictures I have. And for my vision board, and you have some more stuff here, and you have my board here with all my schedule and some more like drawings and stuff that I did that I think that were pretty. So yeah, that's how I set up my space with little cute plants. How cute. Yeah, look how cute. So yeah, that's basically it. And now for the imaginary one. Whew, cue some like magic over here. But what I talk about imaginary, it's not just like in your head and like telling stories and that. It's more the fact that you can't touch it. It's not a material thing. And what I talk about here is your schedule. Like, yes, you work from home, or you want to be working from home, or wherever you are. And like, I know that's what I'm doing right now. And I literally just bought a plane ticket to go to Belgium in like a couple of days. So I'll be taking you guys along with me. And again, drop in the comments if you want to see a little video about how to mix work and travel together. So what I was saying about the schedule, like, yes, it's amazing you're at home, so basically you can work whenever you want. But if you don't set yourself a schedule, let's say I work from this time to this time, and you can switch it up every day, but really have a moment that you're like, okay, from this time to this time, or this moment, or I have to do this set of tasks during the day. If you don't set that up in your mind or in an agenda, I strongly suggest using an agenda, because if you're like me a little bit, I was like, yeah, I'll do this, and then the next day I forget half of it, and I end up just like watching Netflix and playing with my cat, which is not what we want. So basically, to set up that schedule, that imaginary schedule, just make sure that you know where you're going and you're programming your brain. I do this every night before I go to bed. I have a little sheet of paper, just like this, and I look into my agenda. Okay, like, what are the things I need to be done tomorrow, and what are the things that I haven't done in the past days that I was supposed to and I didn't do it, didn't take the time to do it. So what should I be moving onto that list? So I look at that list and I prepare myself mentally. I was like, okay, I have to do this tomorrow. I have this appointment. I have this client meeting. So okay, that's for tomorrow. And then I try to switch off my brain and go to bed, so that during the night my brain does all of the math and be like, okay, we need to actually be working tomorrow. So to set up those boundaries in your head is what's going to help you to really be productive the next day. And if you end up being like, oh yeah, I'll just sit here and like watch some RuPaul Drag Race because they've just uploaded all the seasons on the Canadian Netflix, and you're a little bit overwhelmed with it, with joy, instead of working. Well, if you have your little list of all the things you need to be done, and you're like, well, I don't really have the time to do it, and you have to set your time frames and all of your things, it really pushes you. Because if you're like me, and with the procrastination syndrome, where it really helps beat it is the feel of urgency. So waiting till the last possible minute to do something, and then be like, I don't have any choice, like I have to do it now. So with that, it just makes it kind of easier to light a fire under your and be like, now I have to do it. And like I was saying, also an agenda. If you like the computer more, use a computer. I'm an old school kind of girl, and I like writing down in here with like pen and pencil and make drawings and do pretty things, and this look like a mess. But for me, it's so important because I can dump all of my brain vomit onto here and put it into something that's a little bit more structured, and like that it helps to structure my thoughts. This is something super useful for me. And another thing that I love doing, like you could see, is lists. List up everything you have to do to really create a structure, and do an urgency code. So really have layered up. You have the things you need to be doing, like you need to cancel a registration to something, but there's other things that are more important. So you have to layer them according to the urgency of that task. And another thing you need to take into consideration also is the energy or time it takes you to accomplish that task. Let's say the 3 things that are most important in your day takes so long to do each and every one of them. You can't expect yourself to do all of them plus other small tasks. Like you're not, like a day is only 24 hours and you kind of have to sleep in there, apparently, if you want to be tip-top, great shape. So just to remember to have, like, to check on the urgency of every of your tasks, but also see, is it actually possible to do those things? Like, you get to a point that you know yourself, like, I know when I'm not taking my ADHD medication, it takes me a little bit more discipline to just like get up and do those things. So I know I can't be doing like a million things in a day, and that's okay, because some other day I just pop that concerta and like go to another dimension, and I'm the most productive person, and I work for like 14 hours straight. So to wrap this up, really think about what your life could be if you had a little structure, or a little more structure in it. And I'm not telling you to have something super rigid that you can't get out, because I'm the first one who makes routine, and that's why I'm not in a 9-to-5 job, and I'm actually working here from my room, and I'm wearing sweatpants right now, okay? So the thing is, just to imagine your life with a little bit more structure. What are some small adjustments that you could do to help yourself? Because yes, in the time it takes for you to adjust to it, it kind of sucks, but once it's incorporated in your day-to-day life, how much more work are you going to get done, and how much more productive are you going to be, and how much more close are you going to get to that dream life of being an entrepreneur? Like, just think about it for a second and tell me that doesn't feel like amazing to just get that one step closer of doing your dream job, for like just putting a little structure in your life. That's crazy easy, and that's such an amazing feeling. So tell me in the comments how you feel about structure, or how are you good with structure? I honestly sucked at first, but I had to do it and I had to use it. Otherwise, I would just like, I wouldn't be where I am today if I hadn't all those tips and tricks. So tell me in the comments, guys, how comfortable are you with structure? What kind of structure do you have? And do you love it? Do you hate it? Do you, however you feel about it? And what are your top tricks to organize yourself and really create that structure? So I love you guys all. Keep being weird, keep being amazing, and I'll see you pretty soon. Bye.